Hi, let's start off where we left off last time. Book 1, the first book of Moses, Genesis, number 4. Now the man had marital relations with his wife Eve, and she became pregnant and gave birth to Cain. Then she said, I have created a man just as the Lord did. Then she gave birth to his brother Abel. Abel took care of the flocks, while Cain cultivated the ground. At the designated time, Cain brought some of his fruit of the ground for an offering to the Lord. But Abel brought some of the firstborn of his flock, even the fattest of them. And the Lord was pleased with Abel and his offering. But with Cain and his offering he was not pleased. So Cain became very angry, and his expression was downcast. Then the Lord said to Cain, Why are you angry, and why is your expression downcast? Is it not true that if you do what is right, you will be fine? But if you do not do what is right, sin is crouching at your door. At the door, sorry. It desires to dominate you, but you must subdue it. Cain said to his brother Abel, Let's go out to the field. While they were in the field, Cain attacked his brother Abel and killed him. Then the Lord said to Cain, Where is your brother Abel? And he replied, I don't know. Am I my brother's guardian? But the Lord said, What have you done? The voice of your brother's blood is crying out to me from the ground. So now you are banished from the ground, which has opened its mouth to receive your brother's blood from your hand. When you try to cultivate the ground, it will no longer yield its best for you. You will be a homeless wanderer on the earth. Then Cain said to the Lord, My punishment is too great to endure. You are driving me off the land today. You are driving me off the land today, and I must hide from your presence. I will be a homeless wanderer on the earth. Whoever finds me will kill me. But the Lord said to him, All right then, if anyone kills Cain, Cain will be avenged 7 times as much. Then the Lord put a special mark on Cain so that no one who found him would strike him down. So Cain went out from the presence of the Lord and lived in the land of Nod, east of Eden. Cain had marital relations with his wife, and she became pregnant and gave birth to Enoch. Cain was building a city, and he named the city after his son Enoch. To Enoch was born Irad, and Irad was the father of Mahujael. Mahujael, I'm sorry if I'm not saying that correctly, was the father of Methusael, and Methusael was the father of Lamech. Lamech took 2 wives for himself. The name of the first was Ada, and the name of the second was Zillah. Ada gave birth to Jabal. He was the first of those who live in tents and keep livestock. The name of his brother was Jubal. He was the first of all who play the harp and the flute. Now Zillah also gave birth to Tubal-Cain, who heated metal and shaped all kinds of tools made of bronze and iron. The sister of Tubal-Cain was Naamah. Lamech said to his wives, Ada and Zillah, Listen to me, you wives of Lamech, hear my words. I have killed a man for wounding me, a young man for hurting me. If Cain is to be avenged 7 times as much, then Lamech 77 times. And Adam had marital relations with his wife again, and she gave birth to a son. She named him Seth, saying, God has given me another child in place of Abel, because Cain killed him. And a son was also born to Seth, whose name was Enosh. At the time people began to worship the Lord. At that time, people began to worship the Lord. Chapter 5. And please forgive me if I mess up any of these names, because they are very hard to say, some of them. This is the record of the family line of Adam. When God created humankind, he made them in the likeness of God. He created them male and female. When they were created, he blessed them and named them Adam. When Adam had lived 130 years, he fathered a son in his own likeness according to his image, and he named him Seth. The length of time Adam lived after he became the father of Seth was 800 years. During this time, he had he had other sons and daughters. The entire lifetime of Adam was 930 years, and then he died. When Seth had lived 105 years, he became the father of Enosh. Seth lived 807 years after he became the father of Enosh, and he had other sons and daughters. The entire lifetime of Seth was 912 years, and then he died. When Enosh had lived 90 years, he became the father of Kenan. Enosh lived 815 years after he became the father of Kenan, and he had other sons and daughters. The entire lifetime of Enosh was 905 years, and then he died. When Kenan had lived 70 years, he became the father of Mahalalel. Kenan lived 840 years after he became the father of Mahalalel and had other sons and daughters. The entire lifetime of Kenan was 910 years, and then he died. When Mahalalel had lived 65 years, he became the father of Jared. Mahalalel lived 830 years after he became the father of Jared, and he had other sons and daughters. The entire lifetime of Mahalalel was 895 years, and then he died. When Jared had lived 162 years, he became the father of Enoch. Jared lived 800 years after he became the father of Enoch, and he had other sons and daughters. The entire lifetime of Jared was 962 years, and then he died. When Enoch had lived 65 years, he became the father of Methuselah. After he became the father of Methuselah, Enoch walked with God for 300 years, and he had other sons and daughters. The entire lifetime of Enoch was 365 years. Enoch walked with God and then disappeared because God took him away. When Methuselah lived 187 years, he became the father of Lamech. Methuselah lived 782 years after he became the father of Lamech, and he had other sons and daughters. The entire lifetime of the Methuselah was 969 years, and then he died. When Lamech had lived 182 years, he had a son. He named him Noah, saying, "This one will bring us comfort from our labor and from a painful toil of our hands because of the grounds that the Lord has cursed." Lamech lived 595 years after he became, let me make this a little bit bigger, I'm sorry everybody. After he became the father of Noah, and he had other sons and daughters. The entire lifetime of Lamech was 777 years, and then he died. After Noah was 500 years old, he became the father of Shem, Ham, and Japheth. Verse 6, or book 6. When humankind began to multiply on the face of the earth, and daughters were born to them, and the sons of God saw the daughters of humankind were beautiful, thus they took wives for themselves from any they chose. So the Lord said, "My spirit will not remain in humankind indefinitely, since they are mortal. They will remain 120 years. They will remain for 120 more years." The Nephilim were on the earth in those days, and also after this. Then, when the sons of God were having sexual relations with the daughters of humankind, who gave birth to their children, they were the mighty heroes of old, the famous men. But the Lord saw that the wickedness of humankind had become great on the earth. Every inclination of the thoughts of their minds was only evil all the time. The Lord regretted that he had made humankind on earth, and he was highly offended. So the Lord said, "I'll wipe humankind, whom I have created, from the face of the earth, everything from humankind to animals, including creatures that move on the ground and the birds of the air, for I regret that I have made them. But Noah found favor in the sight of the Lord. This is the account of Noah. Noah was a godly man. He was blameless among his contemporaries. He walked with God. Noah had 3 sons, Shem, Ham, and Japheth. The earth was ruined in the sight of God, and the earth was filled with violence. God saw the earth, and indeed it was ruined, for all living creatures on the earth were sinful. So God said to Noah, I have decided that all living creatures must die, for the earth is filled with violence because of them. Now I am about to destroy them and the earth. Make for yourself an ark of cypress wood. Make room in the ark, and cover it with pitch, inside and out. This is how you should make it. The ark is to be 300 cubits in length, 50 cubits in width, and its height 30 cubits. Make a roof for the ark and finish it, leaving 18 inches. Actually, it doesn't say. Leaving inches from the top. Put a door in the side of the ark and make a lower, middle, and upper decks. I am about to bring floodwaters to the earth to destroy from under the sky all the living creatures that have the breath of life in them. Everything is on the earth will die. But I will confirm my covenant with you. You will enter the ark, you, your sons, your wife, and your sons' wives with you. You must bring into the ark 2 of every kind of living creature from all flesh, male and female, to keep them alive with you. Of the birds after their kinds, and of the cattle after their kinds, and of creeping things of the ground after its kind. 2 of every kind will come to you so you can keep them alive. And you must take for yourself every kind of food that is eaten, and gather it today. It will be food for you and for them. And Noah did all that God commanded him. He did indeed. Okay, let us say a closing prayer. Father, thank you for the words we read today. Thank you for the quiet reminder in Genesis 4, verse 7, that you see the deep place of our hearts, and that choosing what is good draws us closer to your light. Lord, help us walk in that goodness today, gently, honestly, one step at a time. And Lord, when I hear Genesis 6, verse 8, but Noah found grace in the eyes of the Lord, I'm reminded that your grace still finds us too, even when we feel tired, unsure, or far away. Let that grace settle softly over everyone listening. Help us keep our hearts tender, help us keep our steps steady, and help us stay close to you, the way a child stays close to the one who loves them. Thank you for your mercy, Lord, your patience, and the love that never lets us go. And I pray all of this in the holy, gentle, saving name of Yeshua with love. Amen. Until next time.